Word. All right. So first, can you guys hear the music I have in the background? No, you can't? Let me see if I take my earphones off if you can. Can you hear it now? Okay. So this is like not going to be part of it really, but I will just make this a side note because we're going to be talking a lot about just focus and getting in the zone. This is basically a Pandora classical for studying station. And so I would suggest, like, as we're talking about this, if you decide to implement a lot of what I talk about, that a lot of it is just getting down. And so for me, finding the station helped. I was working at Starbucks the other day and people were really, really loud. So I'm going to turn this off now. All right. And okay, so I'm Ashley Brockington, and so I kind of open this up to not just my team, Team Thrive, but to basically anybody and everybody in the network, because I believe that numbers can build momentum. And so what I'm going to be proposing at the end of this talk, I think is going to have a lot of power in numbers. And it really doesn't matter if you're on the same team or not. I actually think that getting outside of your direct team and creating success partnerships is like just a huge thing. Now that's a different topic, but if you ever listen to or read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he wrote this book like, I think it was in the 40s, basically breaking down how Andrew Carnegie made all his fortunes and the procedure and everything like that. And a lot of it was based on mastermind. So, all right. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is basically based on a book called, and I'm going to be real honest, I haven't done a ton of preparation for this. This is something I wanted to basically take and run with because there are now a little bit over 13 weeks in the rest of the year. And so this is based on a 12-week plan. So I wanted to get this to everybody, even if it's not going to be wrapped up in a pretty package, because it's something we could start implementing, you could start implementing, and kind of have the first 12 weeks done by Christmas. So it's based on a book called 12 Weeks. See, the 12-week year. Okay, and so this is what it looks like right here. I want to highly suggest, if you don't have an Audible account, that you just get an Audible account. There's different levels, but most of the books, if you buy them by themselves, are going to be $20 to $30. But with an Audible account, you basically get one token, I think for like $14.50, one book a month. And so it's pretty fun to just be like, time for another book. And it feels free even though you're getting charged. So this is based on the book, The 12-Week Year. And let me put this up here. All right. Okay, so kind of what I have like another slide share. What the premise is that you are able to get done in 12 weeks what you normally would in 1 year. So basically, if you use that kind of math, a month would be 1 week. So you would, whatever your year goals normally would be, you would condense it into 12-week goals. A month would be a week, and a week would only be 8 hours, really like a work day. So a week would be a day. And if everybody can mute themselves. And, I'm sure if you all are like me, you find yourself often working really, really hard and feeling like you're not getting the results you want, and you feel kind of stressed out and everywhere. I often have that feel like my husband's mom has some like little meme or sign that says like the hurrier I go, the behinder I get. And basically I have that feeling a lot. And so this method is going to help us from feeling like that downward spiral. So a 12-week year. Okay, so we have all of this knowledge. We have all of these plans. We have this great vision, but it just seems like we can't get it done. I'm going to go through this real quick. And so what we need to do is we need to make every day really, really count. And if you ever read Kiss That Frog, no, Eat That Frog, Eat That Frog. There's one called Kiss That Frog too, by the same author. He talks about basically just trimming the fat, really getting back to your very primary activities every single day. So a lot of this book and this idea is very, very similar to that. So these books go hand in hand, but I love this one because it not only shows us how to like prioritize our days, but really how to meet our goals. Okay, so a 12-week year. So this is no more annual plans, no more quarterly plans, even though 12 weeks is about a quarter. No more specific goals. I'm just going to go through these real quick. Okay. Okay, so here's kind of like how you do it and what you start with. You've got to start with your why. And we talk about that, a lot in coaching. You start with your vision, you start with your why. But I feel like what happens in coaching is like you'll come on board, you'll be a new coach, and you'll talk about your why. And then you may not talk about it for like 6 months. And then your coach might be on this kick like, talk about your vision, talk about your why. And that's like for a month, they're all about that. And then like you don't talk about it for a while. Or it might be the new year, like everybody's, what your New Year's resolutions are. But it's not something we have in front of us every single day. So how you start, and a lot of what this is the 80-20 principle or 90-10 principle, that we need to be spending 80% of our time on the 20% of the activity that's going to get us the hugest results. And so let me just preface, so like maybe if you're like, I don't know where she's going with this, by saying that implementing this tool, I downloaded this book on Monday, and implementing this tool on Monday, I was at Success Club 2, which is like the worst I've ever done. Like, what is going on? And this morning I woke up with Success Club 14, and I think by the end of the night we'll have 16 to 20. So it is working for me, and it's not anything magic. It's really like going to be like, oh, well, duh. But you've got to have a big vision, okay? So let's say your big vision is to make to be a 15-star diamond, or it's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be to create financial freedom, to bring your husband home from his job, to be able to pay for soccer and dance and college and maybe private school, whatever it is. Maybe it's to help your mom, who was a single mom her whole life, retire. Maybe it's to bring your husband out of the military. Whatever it is, you've got to have that big why, that big vision that we start with, but then we kind of like lose track of, and you need to have a written plan. You need to remember that 10% of your activities are going to yield 90% of your results. And so this is kind of what you do. So you take that big vision, and then taking that big vision, you look at 3 goals, like 3 things that will help get you to that vision, that will get you to that why. So I'm going to let you know what mine are right now that I'm working on. So for the next 12 weeks. So this is going to take me right until about Christmas. Okay. They are to add 20 coaches to my team in the next 12 weeks. It's going to be to clean up and create kind of a new onboarding system. And it's going to be to tidy our house, like get rid of a ton of stuff, like a ton of kids' clothes we don't like, just books we don't need, furniture hanging around that's in the garage that we don't need, and to get so much like cleanliness and just like space that we can then hire a maid. We had one. We don't have one right now, but hire someone to come and clean the house once a week. But it's kind of like we want to get all of that done. And so those are three big things that we had to like really like go down. What do we want our life to look like? Right now it feels very chaotic. We know we need more coaches. We need to build a bigger team. We know, so I put 20 as a specific number. I know that I want a new onboarding, but I also have a million other projects that I want to do. But I think that would be the next most important one to me that I want to work on. And I know that my family life needs a lot of decluttering, continual decluttering, and that if I went into the next 12 weeks or after the new year with a very decluttered life and in a position where I was hiring someone to clean our house again, and to let you know, our house cleaner quit on us because my kids, I have 5 kids, just there was so much clutter. We couldn't get it picked up in time for her to come. So that was really, really humiliating. And so I promised myself I would not even try to hire someone until like I could get that under control, whether it's like get my kids really on board or just have there be nothing that they could. So for me, that's like part of my vision. So then what you do, you take those 3 goals and you say, I am going to accomplish those. Those 3 goals are going to help me get to my real big vision. And I'm going to accomplish those 3 goals in 12 weeks. Okay. So instead of like a year or being like, I want to do this, you're going to do it in 12 weeks. That means there's a lot of things you're not going to do, but you're going to do it in 12 weeks. And you're going to do it by looking at things in 12 weeks. And then you're going to write down tactics. Okay. So like the activities. So to get to, let's say 20 coaches, what do I need to do to get to 20 coaches? Okay. So I'm just going to take this as a goal and I'm going to get really mathematic, really kind of break it down. So if you kind of lose me or I lose you, don't worry about it. It's not that important unless it is to you. But okay. I want to show you that you can be in complete control, complete strategic, logistical, statistic control of your goals when they come to this business. Okay, so this is my Teamzy. Does anybody else use Teamzy? If you're not using Teamzy, like I just think it's the best use of your money ever. So this is my Teamzy, and you can see because of my statistics that for every 3 people I have as a challenger, like a sale, 1 of them becomes a coach. So let's just say, for kicks and giggles, that for most people, it's 1 out of every 5 people. Now, I ask every single person that's a challenger to become a coach. But I don't say, will you become a coach? I ask them around week 2. I say, would you learn? Let me see. I'm guessing it's not switching. Canceled until, okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. But I will say that people, if you like dive in and go all the way, I'm going to show you how you can make it like really, really work for you. So let's say 1 out of 5. So I ask every single person around week 2, hey, I think you would be really great at this. I want to see if you would join my sneak peek and just learn about coaching. That's it. And if they're totally failing at their challenge group, I would say, you know what? I can see that you're struggling. You came to me for help. And this may sound counterintuitive, but one of the best ways you can keep yourself accountable long-term is actually by helping others. Would you learn about being a coach? Okay, so I do this. And the other thing I would say that I do that's the main thing to help people become a coach in my challenge group is I have a weekly 30-minute check-in Zoom call. And I don't like doing them, honestly. I didn't, at least, because I was like, I don't want to do that. I do them 9:00 on Sunday night. I just want to be going to sleep. But they show people that I'm a real person, especially my cold market. I connect with them. I listen to them. I write down. We do a win, loss, and aha moment for each person. So it's very formulated. They know what to expect. But those, I would say, are the 2 tipping points that make it so 1 out of every 3 people become a coach. I didn't used to ask them. I used to have no challengers become coaches because I wasn't asking them. I wasn't believing it. So let's say 1 out of 5, okay? So let's look at what that means. If 1 out of 5 people become a coach, can you tell me, is it switching screens when I just went right here to this Evernote? Did it switch to Evernote? No? All right.
No.
Okay. I'll have to just keep switching back and forth. Okay. So if 1 out of every 5 became a coach and I want 20 coaches. So then that would be 20 coaches, but I have to recruit 5 times more. I have to do 5 times more sales to get those. That's 100 challenge packs. Okay. 100 sales in 12 weeks if I want 20 by 12 weeks. Okay. And so then let's look at this. So I could just say, I've got to sell 100 challenge packs in 12 weeks. So I could just take that number and I could say 100, and you might be like, oh my gosh, this is my goal. This doesn't have to be your goal. 100 divided by 12. That would be 8.3 challenge packs a week. And that's actually my goal. It's now 16 Success Club points a week. And like I said, using this method, I'm going from 2 Success Club points on Monday, and I should have 16 to 20 waking up tomorrow. So I've met my 1 week goal because I broke it down by week. So I could just stop there and just be like, my goal is 8 challenge packs a week. Okay. But I actually break it down even more because you can see that, well, actually maybe you can't because I have to keep resharing. On Teamzy, it tells me that 62, for every 62 connects, which a connect, if you don't use Teamzy, is going to be like inviting people, answering their messages back, going and introducing yourself to them like, hey, I saw that you liked my post on pineapple upside down cake. I just wanted to say thanks. I love sharing recipes. I looked at your page, promise I minimally stocked, and you look like a great person. I can tell you're into food. It looks like you have a couple kids. What ages are they? I have 5. Are you into health and fitness too? Any goals you're working on? So that's an introduction. It tells them I understand them, but it's also kind of like an invite because I ask if they have any goals they're working on. So that's the kind of thing that's a connect. Could just be like going and commenting on their page and not just like, cool, yeah, like that's not connecting with people. So mine is 62 to 1. The more I use Teamzy, the more I connect and the more I do Power Hour, this number goes down. At one point when I was like, we were really, really going at it every day, it was 17 to 1. Okay, so 62 to 1 is not my best. Let's say, just for easy math, that it's 50 to 1. So for every 50 people that you reach out to, 1 is going to be buy a challenge pack. Now, I'm going to say too, like I can credit this to my coach, Helen. She was like, she told me that she had like Success Club 22, like in the first 5 or 6 days. I was like, whoa. And she told me her connect to sales ratio was like 66 or maybe it was 55. It was somewhere around that, between like 50 and 65. I was like, wow, that's about what mine is. But I have Success Club too. I thought, she's just working more than me. She's just working harder than me. I'm like making up things that feel like work. She's actually talking to more people, inviting more people. That was a kick in the pants, okay? So let's say we've got 100 challenge packs, and we know that we need 100 challenge packs. It's going to take us times 50 to get that, right? So that is 5,000 connects, which is a ton, right? But I've got a big goal. And so I'm not waiting for luck to happen. I'm not waiting for people to come to me, because here's the deal. Out of these 100 challenge packs, the first 4 could become Rockstar Diamond coaches. I actually have a coach. They quit now, but they signed up. They signed up 4 coaches ever. 2 of them stayed on Shakeology for 2 years, and the one is 1-star Diamond, and the other will be Diamond probably in the next 2 months. And they only signed up 4 people ever. Like, that's mind-blowingly lucky or really good recruiting. That's all they ever did. But that, I would not count on that. So that's where we're going to use this. So 5,000 connects. This is my goal. Like, okay, so then what am I going to do? I'm going to take 5,000 and I'm going to divide it by 12 weeks, right? So that's going to give me 416 connects a week. Oops. Okay, so then I want to decide, am I going to work Monday through Friday, or am I going to work Monday through Sunday? I have decided that I'm going to work Monday through Sunday, and I'm going to be prospecting, so inviting, doing Teamzy, from at least every day from 6 to 8 in the morning. So no matter what, 7 days a week, 6 to 8. And then I'll schedule some other times in too, depending on the day. But those are going to be the consistent blocks. So 416 divided by 7 is 59. So that means using statistics that I have created. So you all could use these statistics too. Like if you're like, I don't have these statistics, I don't have TMZ, I would say go off of one out of every 5 challengers becomes a coach. If you are inviting them to coaching, they will not know otherwise. If you're inviting all of them. And then 1 out of every 50 connects becomes, it gets a challenge pack. If you want to use that, like, there you go. It's actually like the math that I've done after all these connects. So 59 connects a day should equal 20 coaches. All right. So that's 20 business builders, because I think you need about 20 business builders to kind of assure yourself of a diamond. That's kind of what I've seen. Like a diamond that goes diamond in 3 to 6 months. You might have ones that go diamond like over time, longer, you probably will. But I would say if you want somebody like in the first, 90 to 120 days, 20 business building coaches. But you have to realize that if I sell 100 challenge packs and 20 of them become coaches, that's 80 challengers. That's 80 people that could be discount coaches. Remember how many people it takes to become diamond? It takes, if you were to build your own diamond, basically you had your husband and a sister, and everybody was all just discount coaches, which I'm not proposing, but like, let's say you have this goal by 12 weeks and you are going to get to it. Then if I had 80 divided by 12, that's building 6 diamonds. You could build 6 diamonds out of discount coaches, plus have 20 other business building coaches. Like that's what's within your power if you just do the connects. Now your goal might be way, way, way less. You might be like, you know what? I would be super happy if I got 2 business building coaches a month. So that would be 6 over the next 12 weeks. And so that would be 6 times 5 equals 30. And then 30 times 50 equals, so that's 1,500. This is if you wanted 6 business builders in the next 12 weeks. So 1,500, let's say you're only going to work 5 days a week. That's 3, sorry, I didn't do that right. 1,500 divided by 12 weeks, 125 connects a week divided by 5, 25 connects a day. Okay, now I can't help you if you're not inviting everybody that's a challenger and you're not inviting. But that's basically what it is. Okay, so I just want to give that as an example. So once you make that goal and you break it down by week, you have to identify the behaviors that are going to get you there. When it comes to coaches becoming coaches, or coaches becoming or getting Success Club points, what are the active behaviors? They're going to be inviting. They're going to be commenting on people's feeds. Like if I invite somebody, let's say somebody's in a free group. If they're in a free group and they're like plop and I'm like, I say nothing else, are they going to buy a challenge pack? Maybe you'll get 1 person from your posting. Now, what if I then go say during the end of the free group, hey, this has been really awesome having you in this free group. I noticed you haven't been as engaged as I think you hope you would. I'm assuming you got really busy. I was wondering if you would be interested in learning about my fitness and health accountability group. Here's how it differs. Invite them. Now, a lot of these people, they don't even write back, okay? So I can just be like, fine, they hate me, never talking to them again. Or I can spend the next couple weeks and just go on their page and be like, oh my gosh, you went to Disney World. Oh my goodness, I love Disney World in the fall. Was it super, pretty, the weather good, or was it really, or is it hot in Florida right now? Go and look at their next thing, like big smiley face, or wow, this is such a good article. It made me tear up. Thank you so much. Go connect. If you are doing that, most people don't have people commenting on their stuff. If you're doing that, like whenever they come up in your rotation, let's say it's once every 4 days, once a week. If you do that once a week, however much, you're going to be on their radar. They're going to like you. You're going to be warming them up to you. They're going to be looking at your feed. And because of the Facebook algorithm, your stuff is now going to be shown to them, okay? And so you are going to build this friendship that's not direct. I mean, I'm telling you, it works. And so then let's say 3-4 weeks later, this is what I did just this week. I went through all those people in the free group that were like flops. I'm like, this was a strikeout this month. This did not work. And I said, actually, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, let's see. Okay. Kate. So this is somebody that I went to their page. I didn't have something totally that I really connected with, but they still, looked nice. I said, and so I went to their page and I liked and comment. And they had been in a free group and then like no participation, no response back to my invite. I said, Kate, you have such a beautiful heart. I took a moment to look over your page. Minimal stalking, I promise. And you're pretty awesome. Are you a nurse? It looked like she was a nurse from her job description. I wanted to see how the water and yoga challenge went for you. I know you must have joined because of an interest in health and wellness and I wanted to personally invite you to take the next step and join my Busy Girls Fitness Challenge. It starts Monday, and because there's only 14 weeks left in the year, I think now would be an amazing time to commit and finish the year strong. The group focuses on community, nutrition, and fitness and sets you up for everything you need so I can guarantee results when you commit. If I sent you more information about this, would you look it over? Hope you had a great week and a better week. So I did this and people started writing back. They started writing back to me. I don't know why, but they started writing back. Whereas before it was like they felt pressured to get in the group. Now it's like you have to realize that there is an inner dialogue that's going on with people. It doesn't include you, but it does include you. We can't control what people say back, but I'm telling you, people are thinking about what we're writing. They just aren't getting back to the response. So here's the key points, I believe, in my message and in my kind of pretty passive invite. I look at their feed, I comment and like on it. I try to relate to them specifically. Now, this one, I didn't have a ton to relate, but some of them I'm like, oh my goodness, that video that you shared about the kangaroo with one leg, oh my goodness, it was so inspiring. I really, really loved it. You post really, really inspiring things, whatever, and then maybe ask a question like, it looks like you did a lot of traveling this summer. Is that something you're passionate about? Anyway, it's called like a zigzag. You want to zig into it and then zag to your thing, like in and out. The next key is that I said, I want to personally invite you. Okay. Then the next one is that I said, if I sent you more information, would you look it over? I didn't say, are you going to commit? Like, do you want to do this? I said, if I sent you more information, would you look it over? So you got to piece it out. So those are the parts that worked. So that's the activity that you're going to do. So you've got the weekly plan to get to whatever your goal is, like diamond or how many coaches or whatever your 12-week goal is. You're going to understand how many people you're going to need to connect with to get to that goal. So then you need to figure out what to do with your time, like how you're going to actually get there. Okay, so according to this book, there's different types of performance blocks. And there's strategic blocks. And so these are blocks of action where you're not answering, they're not reactive. So you're not answering emails, you're not answering message, you're not answering anything. So it's not responsive. These are basically for us, if it was a business goal, it would be inviting. It's the power hour. It's inviting. It's adding new people. I call it introductions. I want everybody that comes into my feed, whether they friend me, they like, something new, they comment on, I want to introduce them to me. Like, hey, I saw you did this, took this action, looked at your feed, you're cool. Are you in health and fitness? Do you have any goals you're working on? Like, that's my introduction. So that's a step. And then my prospecting is just like, once I've done that, I just go comment on their things. And I have a rotating list. So in TeamZ, it just rotates. Like, I wait for the next one to come up. You could do this with just a numbered paper list and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got to 5 today. Tomorrow I'm picking up at 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I got to the bottom 200, going back to, 1. But you want that's strategic blocks. And so, like I said, for me, those strategic blocks are every single morning. And this is just honestly starting this week. I would work in the morning, but I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to do something. So every single morning I get up at 6. I get up at 4:30. I work out, read my Bible from 5 to 6, piddle around from 4:30 to 5. I don't know why that takes that long. And then 6 to 7, depending on the day, I am prospecting. So, and then depending on the day, I'm from 7 to 8, I'm also prospecting. That's mostly inviting and just following up with people. And then other days from 7 to 8, I will be then responding to emails. So then that goes on to a buffer block. So buffer blocks are where you're catching up with emails. And this is the idea of batching these activities. So basically letting things accumulate, letting comments in your challenge group accumulate, letting emails accumulate. So it's not always like, oh, response. It's like, no, let them fill up. And then once or twice a day for 30 to 60 minutes, 30 to 60 minute blocks, you go and you batch and do all these responsive. So like as a new coach, I remember it feeling, and even now, I remember it feeling like I've got to be in my inbox. Ooh, conversations. But then I like wouldn't be adding people, and I wouldn't be inviting people, and I wouldn't be talking to new people. So then I would go through all these conversations and be like, crap, I have nobody to talk to. So this just separates it. Like whatever you get done in those blocks of time, you get done. I probably have like 80 messages I need to return to people. But you know what? I can only do what I can do. So I do that in the buffer blocks. Then you do breakout blocks. Now, breakout blocks are just like not business blocks. So that might be for you, it could be taking a nap. It could be taking a walk. It could be walking your dog. Same thing as taking a walk, but with a dog. It could be homeschooling your kids. It could be just something that just makes you feel happy, that takes your mind off of work, that relieves stress. Because if you're like me, you get your best ideas when you're falling asleep, when you're in the shower, when you're sitting outside, when you feel like the wind, not when you're at your computer thinking success club. So you have to get away from it. So you have to have these breakout blocks. All right. So I'm going to show you kind of how that might look a little bit. And this is kind of sloppy, but this is just what this is literally what I was doing myself. I'm kind of been working on. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay. So this is like literally what I have written down from my 12-week plan. And I'm just doing it as I go. So goal 1, new coaches in the Quarter-Force launch. I want to take advantage of that. So, okay, I actually based it, I guess, on 30 coaches. And that was my 30 coaches, and then 1 out of every challenger becomes a coach. So 90 challenge packs and 180 Success Club points. That's my 12-week goal. It feels really big, but that's my 12-week goal. And that breaks down to 16 Success Club points a week, which is crazy. But you know what? I've already done it in 4 days. I don't know how, but I do know how. I just actually did the things that lead to that. Goal number, and I've been a coach for 2 years. In my first 4 or 5 months, I was top 100 challenge pack sales. I was getting like 25 to 40 Success Club points. And then I started building a team, and I was like, no, I just gotta coach my team. And I got away. I think I just forgot how to only have prospecting to do. So goal number 2, I told you, outsourcing plan, and onboarding. 4 is the family organization. So then what I did, and this is kind of messy, you're supposed to take like I don't know if I said 15 minutes to however long it takes, honestly, each week to plan out the next week's goal. So once you have the 12-week structure, you have your vision, then you have the 12-week structure, then you have the activities that you need to do to meet those. Then you can go and you can fill it in per week. And then after that, you can go and each week you'll evaluate and figure out what you need to do. So this is kind of like my breakup So one of the things I want to do is buy a fridge for the garage, which seems so silly, but it's like, it's been on my want list for like 2 years. But I thought I'm just going to save $25 a week. And by the end of 12 weeks, I'll buy a, like a nice used fridge. Okay. So week 1, prospect, get to Success Club 16. I have some other things in there that are not top 3 goals, but like they have to get done. Like I have to go get my blood drawn tomorrow for insurance. I had some random whatever. So these are the actions that I needed to get done in this week. And then I went on and I'm like, okay, so what else do I need to do? So the cool thing is my simple goal of not simple, but my getting 180 Success Club points in 12 weeks, that's the same actions every week, basically. It's prospect, get to Success Club 16. Now it has helped me because I'm going out of town a couple times and then there's Thanksgiving. So on those weeks, I thought, I'm going to push and try to get Success Club 32 in a week. That sounds like I might want to throw up. It sounds like such a big goal, but I'm a little bit afraid of the holidays and traveling and keeping up with that pace. So I thought, well, if I can go ahead and make that goal and kind of plan on it in my mind, or at least try to get ahead and realize that will be a problem, that will help me. So I have just kind of a loose goal for the 12 weeks. And as we get close, like further down, I have less filled in, but that's okay because I'm going to know what's going to come up. So then I broke it down for the day just for this. And this is just word templates. So like today, Sam and I both got up, we prospect, and then we went into our inbox and we just looked for the people that were ready to go to the next step. We prioritized those for an hour. And then we took care of the kids and spent time with them from 8 to 10. And then we looked through all of our people we followed up with our people that we had invited this month. Again, I had some phone calls. Sam had lunch. She had to go to the hospital. I worked on some core to force like posts. And then tonight, I didn't get this done. Tonight, I need to respond to my social media and I need to check into my challenge group. So I'm batching those activities. Instead of feeling like I'm all over the place, I made some posts as I went, but tonight I will go through and it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like a relaxing, and I'll just go comment and say thanks and, comment and that kind of stuff. Then tomorrow I know exactly what I'm going to do. And it looks a lot like what I did today. But I'm going to work a little bit on coach onboarding because that's one of them. And then we're going to have some family time. So, okay. That brings us to the last thing. The last step in this whole process is that you have weekly activity meetings, WAMs. And basically that's for teams that are reaching goals. And so what I'd like to propose and what those are basically you get together in a small group once a week and so this is what I have envisioned. I have envisioned these WAMs being led by groups of 2 or 3. Now they're not really going to lead them. They're just going to be there. They're going to be the no matter what's the constants. Really, if you commit to a group like this, you should be anyway. But the leaders are going to decide what day and time works best for their schedule. So that might be Friday mornings at 5 a.m. or it might be Wednesdays at 2 p.m., whatever time zone. And they're going to commit to that weekly thing. And these WAMs, I'm going to say try to get them done in 30 minutes. And so people are going to sign up for, let me say this. Do I have good graphics for Core to Force? Yeah, I do. I went and what I did for those is I just searched in Facebook Core to Force and I just downloaded a bunch of graphics because they're already cool. And then I probably will make some other ones. Okay, does this include, 59 connects per day. Does this include repeat connects? Are you reaching out to 59 people in each day? It's basically 59 people. There's times when so if I reach out to somebody, they're writing back to me, what I'll try to do is I'll just go to the activity, what is it called? Activity history or whatever. And I'll go and I'll try to edit that conversation and copy and paste in the new thing. So I try to get it to be 59 new people. as my goal, but I'm sure there's times where I connect, like I log it on accident. Okay, so these groups would be 10 to 15 people, and here's my vision for them. You sign up for it. I started let me see if I started just a really simple spreadsheet. And so if you are, I will put this maybe in Dynasty United. If you're a team leader, you can put this wherever in your group. But basically, the idea would be whoever the leaders want to be. And I say 2 to 3 people just because, if one of you has to go out of town or have a birthday or a doctor's appointment, you want to have somebody kind of carry through. So let's say I put, you know what, I'm going to have to edit this a little bit so there's a little space. So let's say I put Thursdays at 11 a.m. and I'm going to say Ashley, then I'm going to have 15 spots. So 15 people can go and sign up for, mine or whoever else is. But the leader's not going to teach. So if you're a leader, this is a good opportunity to sign up and take on a leadership role for consistency, but you're not going to teach or anything. Basically what the idea is the leader would say like, okay, let's get started. And you would go through each person and it would be like I'd probably write it down and have like a quick format where it's like, my name's Ashley Brockington. Here is my why. Here's my vision. And then you'd have to develop an elevator pitch for your vision or your why. So it wouldn't be like, I want to do this and then I want to do this. It'd be like 1 to 3 sentences. Like, I want financial freedom for my family. I want to, not work at night. I want to be done by 5 o'clock at night. I never want to worry again about buying new soccer cleats or like warm clothes, wardrobes for the 5 of my kids. And I want to, have enough money to give and always welcome people into our home because we're able to bless them, in an abundance. So let's say like that's my vision. And then I would go on to my 12-week goal is 30 coaches, organize my home, create a onboarding and system. Last week, win, loss, and aha moment. Last week, I met my goal of getting 16 challenge packs. My loss was I did not organize the kids' clothes or do well with any of that. My aha moment was that I probably could, do some of the tidying up or organize the kids' clothes while they were like by moving them upstairs with me so they could be doing their homeschool at the same time or while I was listening to a training call or whatever. This next week, my plan will be basically the same, but I'll be, I'm going to be going out of town. So I need to up my amount of, Success Club points. So I realize that reaching out to 59 people is not going to cut it. I'm going to try reaching out to 62, whatever. So you just kind of like each person has, let's say, try to get it like 3 minutes, but always repeating your why, because I think that's something that we need to always do, but in a concise way. And then the win, loss, and aha moment. I think that when you hear yourself say it out loud, this is not about becoming accountable to a leader. This is about you being accountable to yourself. Nobody on this team is your mom. Nobody wants to be your mom. You know what? I don't like even bossing my kids around and like making them be accountable to me. You want your children, right? You want everybody around you to be accountable to themselves. And so that's what this does. When you hear yourself say it out loud, when you check in, you know that you're going to be, you need to have something to say. So that's basically my vision for this. I think we could start it honestly right away. As long as we had leaders sign up. I am going to be leading one I have 2 coaches that are pushing to become elite coaches. So I'm going to be leading one with their team. Like, once again, that actually it's not like some benefit at all because I'm just going to be there. So some things that the leaders could do if they wanted to be amazing leaders, is if they had this list of the 15 people, they could kind of take attendance. Like, let's say there's 3 leaders. One could start it and be the host for the day. One could be the attendance person. So basically just look and be like, okay, who's here? And then once the attendance person passed on, one person while the meeting's going on could go and they could message the people that didn't come and just say like, hey, just want to let you know we missed you at the WAM today. I hope you're doing well. And then maybe we have everybody's goals written out. Just wanted to remind you of your vision for your life and your 12-week goals. Make it a great day or whatever. And then maybe if you have somebody new join the group, like some people drop out or whatever, and you're like, okay, we're going to open up a space in this group. Then that one of those leaders, maybe they send them an email, a welcome message while the group's going on. So they're not taking more time. They're just like, while someone's talking, they go and message and just say like, hey, just want to let you know we're really happy to have you in the group. So that's kind of my vision for these groups. I really don't care whose team who is on. I want it to just be open because I believe that, like, this is another part of my vision for this. I think that if you think about it, Success Starters is basically a 12-week goal. It's 3 months. And so I think that if we bring new coaches into our teams and we get on a Get Started Right call with them, and we kind of use this 12-week year platform and idea to like help them create a structure, we can literally say, what is your vision for your life? Well, I want to do this, this, and this. Okay, well, how much money do you want to make the first 3 months? Or like, how many people do you want to help the first 3 months? And if they say like, I want to help 10 people, like every month, so 30 people, then we would say like, okay, let's do that. Can I help you reverse engineer that? And then you would help them. And I'm telling you, just use those ratios. 1 out of every 5 challengers becomes a coach. 1 out of every 1 out of every 50 connects turns into a challenge pack. And I would assume 1 out of every business builders becomes a diamond in a decent amount of time. So using those ratios, you really could help any new coach come on, give them a road, like a legit, like, here you go. If this is really your goal. Now, maybe their goal is, I want to stay accountable. I want to be healthy. I'd like to help people, but I don't really want accountability or to be, I'm not like that. You'd be like, okay, that's fine. I have heard you. You want to meet your transformation goals, but maybe you then help them. You're like, okay, so let's use this system and help you get those transformation goals. Like, what does that look like? Well, I want to lose, 30 pounds, and I want to look great for my vacation. That's in 12 weeks or 14 weeks. And you're like, okay, well, let's look at what that means. 30 pounds divided by, 12 weeks. Like, that's actually not a big deal. That's like 2-something pounds a week. You can totally do that. What do you need to do to lose 2 pounds a week? Well, I need to not miss any workouts. I need to drink plenty of water. I'll need to stick to the eating plan. Yeah. Okay, well, what do you need to do to look great in a bathing suit? Well, basically the same thing. But you know what? Maybe if I bought a bathing suit now and I tried it on each week, that would be a measure. So can you see how, like, no matter what the coaches coming on, their goals are, we could help use this type of goal-making system and reverse engineer it to make it very, very tangible on what they have to do. And then we could be like, hey, we have these weekly accountability meeting groups. They're super low pressure. Whatever your goals are, fine. People are going to have different goals. You just come in, you check in, and here's the spreadsheet where you can sign up for one. And if we have enough people that get on board with this, I would love to have 10 different days and times or more, so that really nobody had an excuse. It was never like, oh, my Wednesdays are really busy. It's like, oh, well, you can choose from 9 other dates. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this up to there's little flies around. Anybody that has any questions. I don't know if that made sense to you. I definitely recommend listening to the book, The 12-Week Year. And honestly, I could, if you do not have an Audible account yet, I could actually send it to you for free, because they have a new thing where you can share one book with each person for free. So let me actually look at what I need to do that. Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants me to send it to them right now and they don't have an Audible account already, then I can do that right now if you put your email in the chat. And then otherwise, feel free to take yourself off mute and ask any questions. And if you have any specific goals, it's 9:50. I could probably go like till 10:15. If anybody was like, help me with my goals, I have specific goals, like help me figure out that, then kind of I can start with somebody.
Ashley, I have a question in the chat box.
Oh, I think I answered that. Well, maybe I don't see it.
Well, I couldn't tell if you were answering it specifically or if you weren't, because you said something about the like moving on or placing in different areas. So when you're doing your 59, 60, whatever connects a day, so that's just a connect, or you're connecting with new people every day?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, I see what you mean now. I thought you meant like if I had talked back and forth with somebody 5 times, if that counted as 5 connects, like in a day. You're saying,
oh, no.
No. These are definitely not brand new people. Definitely not brand new people. No. I mean, when you're brand new, you're going to do a lot more adding and introducing. Like you may have to spend more time in that. But kind of what I do when I have these chunks of time is I have different categories. So I think, okay, like new coach invites, like people I already invited, but I want to kind of check on them, follow up. People I introduced myself to, people that I'm friend requesting, people that have been in a free group in the past, people that have been in a sneak peek in the past, like that kind of, those kind of groups. And what I do is I just go into each group and I do one. And then I go to the other one, I do one. And then I do one. And then I do one and one. And then if I have more time, I'll go to the top. So that way I'm kind of hitting, because it's really tricky, but that's the way that I figured out for me that I can kind of focus on the most important. Because what I find is if I don't do that, I mean, I'll just be like, ugh, forget it. Nobody, you know what I mean? Or I don't even know where to start. So that's what I've been recently doing, is just categorizing people by, and so the biggest folders I would say to spend your time in are people that you've already invited for the month and people that you have introduced yourself to, and I would say are hot prospects. Those are the 2 folders that I think you should spend the most time in. Plus you need to be adding people and making sure you introduce yourself. But I would say those are the ones you're probably going to spend the most time with, because if you can get a ton of invites done, and this is something else you can batch depending on your personality. You could be like, all right, I want to invite 100 people a month or 200 people a month. But you know what? I hate spreading it out. I hate doing 5 a day or 10 a day. I want to do, all of them in the first week. Like all of them. That's all I want to do is invite the first week, because then it's done. And then it's just going and commenting and liking and checking your message to see if they messaged you. So I'll if I come up to somebody's name, I'll search to see if in my inbox, if they messaged me back. And no, they didn't. So then I'll go to their feed and I'll just comment and, mostly commenting. And then if I'm like, okay, they're ready, I'll invite them. But otherwise, I just don't feel the pressure anymore, because as long as you're being consistent and you're making yourself do it, it will start to just kind of happen naturally. Like you'll come across somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, they would be such a good coach. And all you can do is message them and say, I'm not trying to be weird, but I kind of love you. And I think you would be really good at doing what I do as a coach. And it's not going to be forced. It's just going to be, what it is. But you have to, what I realized is you have to actually be in there. And then if you're like, these people are all weird, I don't feel that way, then you can diagnose the problem as you're just not adding the right people, or the right people aren't finding you. But really it's going to be like reaching out and finding them. So then that's like, okay, so that's a problem. If my conversations feel awkward and forced and I don't know how to connect, then it's a audience, not an audience, but like I guess I would say an audience problem. So I'm just putting these emails in, so I'm not like texting a friend or whatever. So I can, somebody else has another question. Did that make sense to anybody? Does anybody have any goals that they're like would like help with reverse engineering? Like want me to be bossy about? Tell you exactly what to do?
I want you to, but I guess I don't have it clarified to do it right now. You do it another time?
Yeah. I mean, do you know how many like coaches or?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Just figure it out. And honestly, you know what I'll do? I should just make a spreadsheet. Like maybe what I'll do is on this spreadsheet, I'll just make a formula. And then people can just put in how many Success Club points or how many coaches they want in 12 weeks. And then it will just spit out how many people you should connect with. That would be cool, right? That'd be real good, right?
Yes.
Just another spreadsheet for you to make, Ashley.
No, I mean, this would be super fast. This might change everything, you guys.
That's what we always did with our photo albums, right?
Oh, gosh. I still have a couple. That's actually, Allison, that's on my 12-week list. It's like not one of the main. We have a couple, though, that, oh, my gosh, it's making me crazy.
Yeah, Carlos was working on it today.
We shot their wedding like 9 years ago, and they couldn't move on it for the past 6 years. But now, now
it's an emergency.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got you there.
Anything else?
Ashley?
Yeah.
My kids are sleeping, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say doing in batches,
Mm-hmm.
do you mean by daily batches or blocks in a day? Like now I'm going to just reach out to new people for whatever, 20 minutes, then I'm going to do that. Then next day you're going to follow up?
Yeah, you can do, like in the book, he says he recommends weekly batches.
Okay.
I actually think 12 hours. I actually think daily batches for me. So, I basically blocks of time. So instead of like you have numbers, so like I would suggest that you get you put your blocks. So they're like the strategy blocks, like what you have to do, and then the buffer, the response ones, and then the things that are having fun. And then I would kind of suggest trying to have those done by like 5 p.m. or something. And then leave the night open to kind of things that like, you need to do, but they're not going to stress you out. And if you don't do them, it's like not the end of the world. So like I said, responding to social media, like all your comments, that's actually really important, but it's not as important as the other things, checking into your challenge group and being like, way to go. You are awesome. How was that cheeseburger? Like that is important to build community, but it's not going to get you to those visionary life goals as much as the other ones. So I'm just kind of putting those, like, that's my nighttime thing. So for me, like, I love the idea of, you know what, I'm going to get off this call and I'd love to go to bed, but you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to make like a fruit smoothie bowl, like a pitaya and frozen banana bowl. And I'm going to get on my phone and I'm just going to look at who commented on my stuff. And I'm going to go and I'm going to comment back and tag them. Like, and I'm going to go in my challenge group and I'm going to comment back. Like, that's not hard. But if I were to get off this call and have to be like, I have to talk to 59 people,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the method that I'm taking is wake up, clear your mind, have a miracle morning. I know most of my team does that. And then have your strategic blocks first, like the highest one, first thing in the morning. And so I'm able to get 6 to 8 because my kids are at home and I can get them to stay in the room until 8. Now, some people, their kids go to school, they've got to basically be up and out the door at 6. So you might be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to, if that was me, if I had to like be getting stuff going for the family at 6 a.m., I would probably get up at 4:30 or 4, and then I would maybe do my workout later, like right when I got like around 3 or right when the kids got home or something and they were in a bad mood. I give them a snack and I do it. But I'd probably do my block from like 4:30 to 5:30 or, you know, and I would just do prospecting and inviting, because even responding to messages, like you're going to see pings coming through the day. So even if you're like in the carpool line or whatever, you're not going to want to invite. You're not going to want to go back and forth. But if you're like, how much is the 21 to fix? Okay, I'll respond to that. You know what I'm saying? And also, this is just a tip. I started right now, like just because I have a new Facebook account that works now. I've been playing around with leaving the little voice memos, and I can't tell if it's going to work well with cold market people. Like I tried it with one cold market person and then I thought they blocked me. I was like, well, that was a shutdown. But then I have her right here. Like, and okay, for the challenge pack or challenge group, when do you need the money by? I get paid tomorrow. So this person I thought hated me and blocked me from these voice memos. And now we're best friends, and, you know, so anyway, so I just leave a couple. I try not to do a million, and I just say like, you know, hey, Lori, you know, like what did I say? Like, hey, Lori, you know, I haven't talked to you since you were in my free group, or, you know, we haven't connected in a while, but I was looking at your page and it looks like you have a ton going on. So you may think I'm crazy for asking this, but I do these online health and fitness groups. And here's the thing is I know you're busy, but that's why this is going to be perfect for you, because it is specifically, everything I do is specifically for busy women like you and me. New message. So here's the deal. Do you know there's only 14 weeks in the year? 13 now. Sorry, there's 13. So 12 weeks alone is an amazing amount of time to like get crazy, crazy results and to basically like walk into 2017 feeling like $1 million. So I just wanted to see if I sent you more information about this health and fitness group. It's an online, you know, accountability group. We focus on fitness, nutrition, and community. Would you just look at it? And then it's done. And I send it out and I'm like, blah, 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 go. And they can hear my voice. And then I'm not being spammy. And I'm just like, and I said a weird thing. And I'm going on. And da-da-da-da-da. And sorry, my dog's barking. And I'm like, when I first became a coach, I tried doing that. And I wanted to throw up when I tried it. I just felt, and people wouldn't look at it. They thought it was like a virus or something. But I think people don't, like, that's not a problem anymore. People know that this is, you know, a normal thing. So I would also suggest people, like, you might want to try it on your warm market, like friends first. Or you could try it on somebody you totally don't know and be like, I don't care if they unfriend me. I don't know. That's something I've been playing around with too.
I just have to, when I saw your report, 56 to 1, I was thinking, oh my gosh, mine is probably like 25
to 1.
No, not 25, like double that, because I don't think I do that many. And then I heard your conversation saying that when you talk to the same person 2 or 3 times a day, that I kind of like kicked myself in the butt because that was not actual connection.
Oh,
like you said,
counting it as a new connect?
No, just the same person, but I put them as like follow up or, in those tags. But then the system is actually counting them as a connect. So I'm looking at my circles like, okay, I'm done. I can, but actually it's not. Now that I'm thinking of this, it's not. It's kind of like, sometimes I talk to a person like 3 or 4 times a day because they keep on having questions.
Exactly. And, I don't like my results, like what I'm saying, like mine is, I think it's kind of skewed because I don't know that I was doing it the right way either. Like we were kind of just counting it like you're saying. But the fact that I know that at one time when I started using Teamzy, it was 17 to 1. and then that Helen's was like between 50 and 65. And then that mine's now gone between, like about that much. It makes me think, okay, that's like a pretty 62. Mine went from 69 on Monday to now 62 to 1. And it probably will keep, I don't know if it'll keep going down, but so that's kind of where I feel like those are pretty safe numbers. But the cool thing is the more you do it, the more it goes down. Like it's the compound effect.
Yeah.
So
I know.
But don't worry. I mean, if your connects to sales are more, like, because at least you would have a number to start with. And I mean, like I said, 17 and then 62 to 1. Like, if I was all depressed because it wasn't 17, that wouldn't be really realistic, right? Like, 62 is probably more realistic. But then it's like the whole book too is like about, you have to measure your results. Like, you have to measure them, because then you can diagnose your actions. So for instance, if you look at your sales to coach, and like, say you're not using Teamzy, but you're tracking some other way, and you know how many challengers you have. Let's say you get 3 challengers, so you get Success Club 6 every month, and none of them are becoming coaches. Well, first of all, you don't have a very big pool to to choose from. But let's say, but you can at least fight against those numbers and say, I'm going to increase my skill. So what do I need to do to have more challengers become coaches? What is missing? I mean, we can't control people, and it's like you might have 1 month where you had 3 people and all 3 became coaches. And I'm not saying these people are going to go out and become emerald in, 4 days and diamond in 60 days, but and also, like, I don't sign up a lot of discount coaches anymore because my organization is stable. But when I first was coaching, like the first 6 months, everybody was a discount coach, because I wanted a really stable diamond, and I wanted to build Sam to a stable diamond. So everybody was a discount coach. But now I'd rather have the commission, because unless they want to actually be a coach. So, you also have to consider, that's why I would use like the 5-to-1 ratio, because I think that would be pretty forgiving for somebody that was actually inviting every challenger to become a coach. And I wasn't. The first year, I was like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do? Oops. So learn from my mistake.
Thanks. I just got the book, so I'm ready to listen to it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm sending everybody that said, put their name in there, the link. The book, I mean. Anybody else have any other questions or things they specifically would like advice on? Yeah, so as far as the groups, oh shoot, you know what, I should have done this. Let me I will post the link to that spreadsheet in the same groups that I posted this call. And this is, you got to think big picture, kind of, help the team out, because this could be a huge, huge, huge advantage as you onboard new coaches. Huge advantage, basically, for some other coaches, other people, to help you, encourage them, keep them accountable without you, because you do not want to be a leader that's like, did you do this? Did you check in? It would be amazing if you just were able to like plug them in, and then they had that community and they had that accountability and they knew exactly what to do. So I'm asking you all to sign up and co-lead one of a group. And all you have to do is get a Zoom link, and go to zoom.com and make a link and post it, and just show up at that time and just be cool and just be like, and I'll make a little structure. I'll put it in the spreadsheet of what the structure is. Basically, say your name, say your vision, 12-week goal, win, loss, and aha for last week, and tweaks to this next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Lori. Thank you. Okay, so I've sent this to Susan, Trish, and Morgan, and I'm going to send it to Kara, and it's going to your email. All right, guys, so if there is nothing else, then we will call it a wrap. And if you did not get the book and you put your email down, then just let me know. But thanks for showing up, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Bye, y'all.